Okay, we'll speak a little general stuff until we let the people come in, go out and settle down. So I know I'm facing tough competition. Willem is speaking on the other side. Oh, you didn't know? Some of you are going to go away to hear Willem speak. Thank you so much for attending this session. The fact that you're attending a session on B2B commerce tells me two things. Either you're a B2B merchant or you have a B2B merchant who's about to sack you and move to another agency. B2B merchants are difficult to work with, but they're fun to work with. B2B merchants are eager, they understand, they are worried about the e-commerce industry, they're worried about e-commerce, they think e-commerce is not for me, they don't know how to do it, but everybody tells them you have to do e-commerce. So if you're an agency or a developer and you're not working with B2B, that's a big piece of the market that you're not working with. If you're a B2B merchant, if you're a wholesaler, distributor, a retailer doing B2B sales, manufacturer, and you're not doing e-commerce, that's like refusing to have a computer in your office today. It's no longer an option. So we'll be decoding some of that today. We'll be talking about some of those concepts. B2B, we'll go through the basics and we'll cover some of the challenges and lessons learned as well by other industries. Okay? So before we start, can we see a raise of hands? How many merchants here? How many people sell on the internet? I was hoping we get at least one. No? Somebody, he was just scratching his head. Yes, the gentleman there, shyly. Yes, you're a merchant? Don't worry, don't worry. You know, every time when I give a talk like this, 2 people say yes. After that, you can't talk to those people because 100 people are talking to those 2 merchants. Okay, they'll say, oh, what do you do? Can I sell you services? Who's your agency? Okay, so we have a lot of either agencies or freelancers here. That's fine. It's good for you to understand about the B2B industry, about the B2B, the merchant side of things. Okay, so it'll help you to serve your customers better or get some customers if you don't already have some. Okay. So B2B e-commerce, the basics. We'll go through these basics very quickly for those who are a little unclear of them, and then we'll go through some of the details. So there are these 3 terms you see everywhere: B2B, B2C, D2C, direct to customer, business to consumer, business to customer, business to business. Everybody has heard these terms, all of these terms? So what's the difference between all of them? E-commerce, everybody knows that e-commerce is all about having a website. So everybody asks, what do you do? Oh, you run a software company. I say, no, we're an agency. What is that? Oh, you build websites for e-commerce. That's the easiest way to explain to people what B2B commerce is or e-commerce is. But there's a difference in the persona, as some of you may already know. The B2B persona or the definition of the B2B buyer is someone who buys to resell or to fulfill another customer requirement. So they're the best type of B2B businesses have the best type of buyers, because the buyers are not looking for emotional purchases. The buyers are not looking for, because Sachin Tendulkar says this is a good thing, I will buy it. No, they buy it because they can sell it with a profit. You know, there are a lot of restaurants, especially in a lot of Western countries, where the owners sell alcohol but they don't drink it. They sell non-veg, but they wouldn't touch it. Why? Because it sells, and there are customers for it. So, the buyer persona is someone who purchases with the intention of reselling. Stick this in your mind, because this is the core of the activity of decoding B2B commerce. As long as you remember this clearly, all confusion about B2B will reduce. Who are the B2Bs? Manufacturers. They build stuff, they manufacture stuff, they put things together, and then they ship it out, sell it in showrooms, on the internet and elsewhere. Wholesalers, they buy in cartons, they buy in containers, and they sell it out 1 at a time, 10 at a time. Distributors, they facilitate the movement of large amounts of goods across zones, across areas. Retailers. Now, why have I written retailers in B2B e-commerce? Correct. Perfect. Retailers are buyers in B2B e-commerce. So they are the ones who are buying wholesale. They are the ones who are purchasing from B2B sellers and selling it retail. So retailers are on the buyer side of the B2B customer set. This is another important thing that I'd like you to focus on and remember. For a B2B seller, going e-commerce, doing e-commerce is closer to digital transformation than simply running a website. This one thing again, when done wrong, when not understood by a B2B merchant, causes a lot of pain. Going on to B2B e-commerce is not just setting an e-commerce website. It's not just allowing shop to add to cart. It's not just say place order. It's actually doing a digital transformation of your business. It's about placing that, taking that order and putting it into a system. It's about tracking the user's address and the phone number the next time he or she comes onto your website or calls you. So digital transformation is closer than e-commerce for B2B. And therein lies the challenges, the dangers, and the failures of B2B e-commerce implementations. An e-commerce implementation for a B2B business which is implemented like an e-commerce website is doomed to fail. Because sooner or later the merchant is going to face frustration. But when thought of as like a digital transformation, when you ask, where's your order management? Are you going to use the Magento system as your order management, or you want the orders to go somewhere? Where's your inventory? Are you going to maintain inventory here and Salesforce and your Excel sheet, or do you need integration? Where are you managing invoicing? How will you manage shipping? Are you going to manage shipping status from your website, or are you going to manage it on your shipping partner? So digital transformation of your entire supply chain or entire process chain, business process, is critical for B2B e-commerce. So benefits, cost savings, less paper, less processes, less errors, less mistakes. Expanded market reach, you get new customers, you can access new customers, customers who can access you in different time zones, customers can access you when they're sitting in a boring session, they can quickly place an order on their phone, and an enhanced customer experience. So typically, the salesperson in a B2B business was king. The salesperson in a B2B business was the one who established B2B relationships and generated trust-based contracts in B2B businesses. The website is taking over that function. Remember that. And it can deliver the enhanced customer experience that you expect from your star salesperson. We'll quickly go through what we call essential features of a B2B solution, website, B2B e-commerce solution, okay? So advanced product search. Search, not an optional feature in any website, but on B2B it has to be advanced. What does that mean? When you search for screw, what are the products that show up? Should you show the list of screws of different sizes, or should you show a product which says this can be mounted by a screw? Very big difference. If you show products which simply have the word screw in their product description, you're going to give a terrible experience to your buyer. The buyer is not wanting to buy something which you hang on the wall with a screw, and the word screw is there in the product description, short or big, and you're showing it for their search results. Not good. So advanced search, very critical differentiator in B2B. Customized pricing, some of you may already know, you need to show different prices for different customers based on commissions, based on geography, based on taxation, based on volume purchases, based on contract signed, based on, oh, this customer has been with me for 20 years, so I'll give him a 6% discount versus another customer with a different contract. This customer gives me 30 days credit while the other one gives me 90 days payment terms, so the prices for both of them will be different. So customized pricing, very important B2B feature. Order management integration, ERP warehouse integration, very critical. Even if your customer says, no, I want a standalone website, you have to talk about integrations. Without integrations in B2B, the B2B website is doomed to frustration. Fail is a strong word, but doomed to frustration at the very least. Online negotiations. A lot of B2B customers merchants have discovered and are embracing online negotiations, where you can submit, even on Amazon, which is now slightly, or retail Amazon is slightly moving to wholesale Amazon, if some of you have seen. If you buy more than 10, You can say I want to buy more than 10 and suggest a price and wait for the merchant to, the seller to reply and say whether I can meet this expectation or not. Customer registration, they don't like single customer registration. So customer registration is not just like creating an account. You need to be able to create company accounts. So typically in small B2B buyer personas, the owner or the director will check out a place to buy, make an account, but then he's not going to come every day and make those purchases. He's then going to give it to somebody. And he would be uncomfortable giving that person the username password that he created. So can he create a user with restricted access? Can he create a user with limited purchase capability? Very critical features. Quick reordering, requesting of quotes, negotiating of quotes, flexible checkout process. Has anybody heard or implemented of save your cart just before checkout? Multiple checkout options? Because B2B buyers are more complex. They're simple in the sense they know what they want. They're not driven by emotion, but they have specific needs. So they might want to add everything to cart. They go to checkout and then they want to add something. Some retail stores don't allow you to do that. Once you go to the checkout and the last page, if you go back, your cart is empty. You have to do it all over again. Not a good experience for B2B especially. Split shipping. A lot of B2B buyers want to buy 400 pieces of a panel, but they want 150 to go to their south project, and they want another 40 to go to the north project, and they want 60 to come to their warehouse for storage for the next month's project because they're getting a good price. They don't want to receive everything in one place and then again ship it out to 4 places. Split shipping is a very, very powerful feature that B2B is beginning to embrace, and you need to support if you want to do an excellent customer delight for your B2B customer. Okay, so B2B buyers, what do they want? What do these B2B buyers want? Very simple, they want a digital channel. So I had a customer who told me this, a B2B seller. She said, you know what, we are in a very old industry. They do reselling of 3M material, cleaning materials. So we're in an old industry. Our orders they come on phone, and then they come on fax, and somebody will send me a message. But she says the problem is those customers who are buying from me now are hiring youngsters. They're hiring interns and youngsters who say, where's the website? Can I place order on the online? They're not happy sending. The owner to owner might be still phones and relationships, but the people they're hiring can't think beyond a website. What? You don't have a website? I don't think you should buy from this person. Even though they've been doing business with him for years. So they expect a website, a digital channel. They expect all the B2B features, essential B2B features. It's almost becoming a requirement. It's no longer a differentiator. You can't create company accounts. You can't give me different prices. You can't limit the catalog. You can't show me something to some customers and not show to the others. All essential features that every B2B buyer is beginning to expect. The ability to integrate online and offline purchasing experiences. So they came onto your website, they placed an order, they went away, and then after 2 months they came back, and then they sent you an order in another method, another channel. And the buyer, the B2B merchant behaves as if you're 2 different people. There has to be integration. You have to say, you should be able to call the B2B merchant, say, I placed an order on your website last month. Can I repeat that, please? And so the person who's receiving the call should be able to pull out that order and say, yes, sure, I can repeat that. Log in as the user and make an order. They are expecting accurate, searchable, and detailed product information. Now, here, when I say detailed product information, it's not about marketing information. It's not about how it will solve my problems and how it's going to be fast and excellent. Remember the buyer persona we spoke about. Why are they buying something from you? Because they're selling it to someone else. So if someone else is saying, I want let's say that somebody says, I want an i3 16 GB RAM laptop. Seems simple, very specific. No. You need to know what processor. You need to know which type of RAM. You need to know how much it's expandable. You need to know whether it comes with a single DIMM 32 GB, or 16 GB, or 2 GBs of 8 GB. If you don't have that level of detailed information, when you go to your end customer, the guy will say, this is not what I wanted, please return. So you need detailed information for B2B buyers. So the buyer journey is a very critical part that end users don't necessarily think about, merchants don't necessarily think about. Let's go through that buyer journey, B2B buyer journey. Awareness, consideration, decision is the standard journey of any buyer, right? But the detail is different for B2B. Where does the awareness come from? The awareness doesn't come from celebrities. The awareness comes from search, from your events, from your outreach. Segmentation. How do you segment your users based on tiers? How much do they buy per month, per quarter, per year? How do you segment them based on sophistication? Are they a power buyer? B2B merchants have a concept called power buyer. So you don't need to give them all the options. They can quickly select and give you just the part number, place, quantity, and buy. Don't force them to select 17 clicks before they click buy. So, and what is your target persona? Is it a trader? Is it a wholesaler? Is it a retailer? Is it a manufacturer? There'll be subtle nuances for every persona of the B2B buyer. And you better cater to them all, or at least the one that gives you the most business and the most profit. So learn is my favorite word. We all improve by learning, right? Everybody understands this. Some of us find it difficult, but we all understand it at least. Now when you say learn, there's an age-old statement, right? You say learn from your experience and mistakes. Learn from your, how many people agree with this? We should all learn from our mistakes. Very poor choice. Why don't we learn from others' mistakes? You have to set up a website, lose $5 billion, go bankrupt, and then say, next time I won't do this. I wish. Let's learn from others' mistakes. What B2B e-commerce mistakes should we avoid? Like the plague. COVID. COVID is more scary nowadays. Believing e-commerce is not for B2B is the most embarrassingly simple one. There are still hundreds of thousands, if not millions of businesses and business owners who believe this is not for me. Big mistake. Launching without research and analysis, even bigger mistake. This is cheap, this is expensive, this is cheapest, let's go with this. Very big mistake. Do your research, do analysis, do competitor analysis, hire people, otherwise you're going to fail. Not choosing the right e-commerce technology. Choose price over features. Choose speed of implementation over functionality. Or vice versa. Sometimes there are also people who choose very expensive over cheap and best. Both ways. It's not always about spending more money. You don't have to go for more money to get the solution, but don't choose the right technology. Not integrating the B2C like customer experience. So while B2B is different, finally the buyers are humans. Don't make that human frustrated. Don't irritate him or her. Don't annoy him with his experience and think it's okay. They have no choice. Believe me, they do. They have a choice now. Believing performance is not important for B2B e-commerce. How many people have heard of this one? This is performance. This is not a problem for B2B. It's only for B2C. Why is performance most important for B2B e-commerce? Because you won't rank on search engines without that. Your end user may not be impacted so much with poor performance, but if you don't have a green Core Web Vitals score, your new customers are not going to find you. And believe me, B2B want new customers as well. You can't escape that. Neglecting B2B e-commerce essential features. So the agency will come and say, this is the price for basic, this is the price for B2B features, this is the price for this. Let's take the basic, let's take the basic. That's fine, I don't need any of these features. Why? Because I have nothing right now. Big mistake. Because the cost of implementing later is often higher and more frustrating. Underestimating the power of mobile for B2B. This is the second favorite. One is performance, second is mobile. I don't need mobile, I don't need performance. Make it cheap, please. Your buyers are still on mobile, they're on tablets. The other experience you can expect, we have been seeing is B2B merchants offering a tablet to their salespeople, telling them use our website, go to the customer site and use the tablet to configure configure, make a proposal and give a quote, CPQ, using tablets. So it's a big mistake to ignore mobile in B2B. Thinking social media is not for B2B. LinkedIn is a huge source of B2B sales. Not so much Facebook, I agree, but LinkedIn is, Twitter is. Focus, put your attention there when you have the resources. Don't say it's not for me. Not investing in SEO and content marketing. I've had B2B customers, merchants who come and say, here is my 4 terabytes of data. Just scan it and put it on the website. I can't hire content marketers. I can't hire SEO. That's too expensive. So it's a big mistake. It's a big mistake not investing in SEO and content marketing. Okay? I'm rushing through some of this in the interest of time, but we will pause very soon. Yes, for questions. We have 4 minutes left. I can go back to some of the slides and cover some of the areas that some of you may have doubts or questions on. But otherwise, any questions anybody wants to ask? Yes, please can you introduce yourself to everyone? And I know you're not a merchant, unfortunately, but you're probably an agency or
Myself, Ronak, and I have a very simple question. What do you advise for the brand of B2B segment, they are dealing, that going into the D2C market?
So, that is, I can't generically give advice for a B2B whether to go into D2C or not. So just for everybody's context, a B2B who's selling directly to another business has now choosing to go to customer, bypassing them. So there are a lot of nuances, and my last WordCamp was exactly that, about D2C, not WordCamp, Meet Magento. I speak in WordCamps as well, as you might have guessed by now. So there are 2 things that a merchant has to decide before they move to D2C. Why do I want to go to D2C? Do you think that the supply chain which I have set up, where I sell to a wholesaler, distributor, retailer, is inefficient? Are they not reaching me to new customers? Are they making my product too expensive? Are they giving a poor experience to my end user? Then probably a D2C solution is a good idea. But if you have an excellent wholesaler who's willing to go out into the field, an excellent retailer who's setting up a frontage, who's able to reach out to customers, don't go into D2C just because the margins are higher. The hidden costs are not visible for B2B. Fraud, returns, customer behavior, lot of annoyances that B2B companies don't know how to handle. But they think they can and they jump into D2C. D2C survives the best when you're D2C native. When you start direct to consumer. Having said that, many customers have twisted and turned. Dell is the classic example. You can buy Dell from wholesalers, retailers, showrooms, and also on their website. They're the classic company and the classic brand that has understood how to sell both channels, B2B and D2C. Okay, we have a couple of minutes left. Any other question? Any more questions? Yes, the lady there. They're giving you. You also.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for the session, sir. So my question is, you pointed out one point that performance is not that much matter in B2B, right?
Did I say that?
No, I mean to say that by performance you mean to say the speed of the site or the experience of the user.
Is very important.
Right, that is important, but by performance, which area you are targeting? The site performance, the user experience, or I can say that the speed, how much time the checkout for the B2B user takes.
Understood. So speed of the website, highest importance. Why? Because if you're not core web vitals green, search engines will not rank you. Most important. Second, response times on your site are slightly, checkout times and other times are slightly less important than B2C. Slightly less, because the B2B buyer who's about to buy 343 items from your cart is not going to go away because the cart didn't check out fast. because it's very difficult for him to get that same list of products from another website. So performance is important, but where? On searchable content. On your blog, on your category pages, on your content pages. Performance is very important. Cannot avoid that performance. So that's the mistake people do. So let's say there is a complex checkout which does taxation and shipping and checking your account details, and so it's a little slow. They worry that that's the major reason sales are not happening. That's not the reason why a B2B buyer doesn't buy.
So just one thing. Actually, I saw in some of the sites, that those are B2B, merchants are more concerned about the timing of the checkout. As you say that if
But
we
it's
are...
a misconception. That's what I'm trying to say. Because most, you know what, most B2B sellers are actually B2C buyers.
Yeah, those are also buyers.
They are B2C buyers. So they think the experience I'm getting on Amazon is what is the experience my wholesale buyer should get from me. Which is not terribly wrong. But before they reach the cart's performance, there's a lot of other things they have to improve. Then the cart performance is little lower in the priority.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Karthik, I think we are running out of time.
Yes,
So can
yes.
we take offline all the questions?
Yes, please, offline. You can reach me and talk to me. I'll be here the whole day. If you have any questions I haven't been able to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you.